Hello, 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 everyone. I'm so excited to be here for Amplify training number 2. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're feeling great today. And I just want to take a moment to just check in with that. So on our first training, we dug up a few things about images of perfection and things like that. So I want to just check in to see how you're feeling. Take a moment to notice what came up for you from the journal questions, whether you answered the questions or not. If you listened to the training, some things came to mind. And the whole purpose of why we bring this stuff up is so that we can identify it and then let it go. Right. So we have to feel it on its way out. We have to bring it up. We have to actually know what we're dealing with in order to address it or heal it, whatever word works for you, works for me. So lots of questions about images of perfection that we bought into as a child. And then how did that shape you? Right. So what did that all mean to you? Okay. All right, so just feel into that. And now we are on day 2 of Amplify. And the whole purpose of this 3-day training is to help you increase your self-awareness, your self-acceptance, and your authenticity so that you can use your inner power to make mindful decisions and take clear action toward the life that you desire. That's why we're here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And in this training, we will merge the wisdom of yoga, meditation, and healthy living to activate that approach toward personal growth and development. So let's review day 1. So we, in day 1 training, I talked about the foundations of your inner power and what I use, the tools that I use to uncover the self-doubt and really bring it up and feel into it, feel what it is, address it, heal it, and let it go. These tools were meditation and mindfulness, and we did a meditation, positive affirmations and visualization. And what I want to always presence when it comes to affirmations is that affirmations are not just words. If they are just words without the feeling of what you're affirming to yourself, it's not going to land. Okay, so you want to just get into the feeling of the affirmation. I am confident, right? You feel the confidence, and then you make sure you're taking actions that align with that affirmation. Okay. And if something comes up to stop you, that you then remember, oh yeah, I said I am confident. So how does a confident person address what's happening in front of me? All right. So it's not just a word, it is the feeling and then the action as well. Also, I talked about journaling and how that journaling, I can see trends in what's working for me in my life and what isn't. And then again, it's always the taking action part that follows, that really gives you the life that you want. So knowing what's happening, awareness, and then taking action toward that. Getting support of a mentor. You are right here, you are doing that. And then accepting challenges and stepping out of the comfort zone. So these are the 5 things that I use to connect with my inner power: meditation, positive affirmations, journaling, mentors, and stepping outside of my comfort zone. Yes, always, always doing that. Okay, so today we are working on getting clear and curious about our desires so that we can increase our self-awareness and authenticity in our everyday life. So clear and curious, what does that even mean? Well, getting clear means that you have a North Star, you have a direction, that you're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall about what are my values? What do I want to do with my life? And then getting curious means you're going to open yourself up to something that isn't the status quo. And I feel like that goes right along with getting outside of your comfort zone. Okay, so I'm going to show you today how I amplify my self-awareness through clearing and curiosity. And I was so excited to see your celebrations too. Some of you emailed me, and that was great. So celebrate what you're up to. That just sends a message to your brain, to people around you, that you value yourself and you're proud of yourself and what you're up to. Okay, I'm checking my notes here. Yes. Okay, so amplifying clarity and curiosity. Talked about that. Ooh, yes. I'm going to show you how I weed out distractions so that I can clarify and stay on track with my goals for my life and my businesses. Isn't that going to be fun, weeding out distractions? Because we know we have access to so many fun things, but it can get overwhelming, the distractions, and we can get off track. So I'll show you how I address that. And then I'm going to show you my exact planning process that I use to stay curious about life and take on new challenges and welcome surprises in life and really delight in the surprise that happens in life. Okay. How fun, right? Okay, so clarity, we're going to start with clarity first, and then we'll go into curiosity. So how I feel about clarity is that when I'm clear in my life, I have a North Star, a direction. And in my life, it is about living a life that I want and doing important work that makes me happy, with people that I enjoy, and spending quality time with friends and loved ones. That is my clarity. That's my North Star. And it's really, I've learned what fills me up, and that is doing work that I love and being around people that I enjoy. So very clear. And then you get your clarity as well. And we'll practice that too. So if you're not sure what you want your life to be about, then we're going to do some of that work here. But that it's so important to know, to really dial into, one, what do I want my life to be about? And also, what do I not want my life to be about? And I bet I do still have things I don't want to be about that anymore. So I have to identify that and almost get sick of it myself, right? And then I don't want to be about it anymore, like being a victim. And certainly we all have been victims on different levels. But in my case, the situation is well behind me, and it's time to step out of that, right? Like for once and for all, no matter what, I don't want to be about that. Once you identify yours, you get real clear on what you do want and take action toward that. Okay, so why is the clarity so important? Well, number one, knowing what you want for your life is critical, right? It helps. When I'm clear, I am in creation of a life that serves both my values and my purpose. And when I'm certain about what I want, it's easier for me to understand and not only accept my authentic self, but love myself. So I've done the work to say, this is important to me. And I've sat with that. And then I've made a plan to make sure I include these elements in my life. Well, now I feel like I know who I am, and I said what I wanted. So now I accept myself. There's a self-acceptance that comes in, and not just that, but self-trust and self-love. So getting clear helps me to create a life that serves my values and my purpose. And if I'm lost and I'm unsure, I am more likely to say yes to things that don't align with my values, and what I want my life to be about. When I say yes to these things because I'm just kind of lost and unclear, this leads to burnout. I have been there. It leads to exhaustion and general unhappiness and malaise. Like, something is wrong, I don't know what, and like, do I matter? Does my life even matter? So that's how important clarity is, because if you're not clear, you can feel like you're just spinning. And just shoot me a thumbs up if you get that, right? Leave it in the comments. So also, let's see, I'm just going to check and make sure I have some questions for you. I think I'll leave them at the end though. Okay, so also clarity builds confidence. So when I am in a place of knowing, there's that word again, capital N or capital KNOWING. When I know myself and my goals, I am much less likely to stray from my path. And as I stay on track to the path that I want, I experience more success. And that success comes faster. So suddenly, I'm clear, I know what I want, I'm confident about it. I put a plan in action. I stay on track to that plan. I'm not sidetracked by other people's desires. And that's not always 100%, but I'm very good in that regard. And now I'm experiencing success, and success builds confidence. Okay. So that is the importance of clarity. Now, curiosity, we're moving on to that. Why is it important to be curious? I mean, there's even that saying, curiosity killed the cat. Well, it is important to be curious so that you continue to find new challenges, step out of your comfort zone. And also, I have found that when I am curious, I haven't committed to anything yet. Therefore, my mind is open, right? So now I have an open mind because I'm just curious about it. So let's see. So yeah, so my mind is open. I haven't committed 100% to it because I'm just checking things out. I'm exploring. This really opens up a lot of opportunities for me because I haven't like dug my heels into anything yet. I just thought, what would this look like? And in most cases, these curiosity exercises have really led to some cool experiences, like yoga retreats for me, more yoga studio locations, things like that, and actually just new friendships and everything. So your mission from our training on day one was to step out of your comfort zone and accept new challenges, right? So what does that look like for you? I am so curious about that. So if you want to drop that in the chat, just, drop it in, or put it for the Pure Energy group people, put that in the Facebook group and let me know, what are you getting curious about? So when you are curious, you actually open up space to create. And when you open up the space to create, you have generated possibility for your life. You generate hope. What is better than that? You don't want to be at a dead end, right? Like if you're not curious or thinking about what's next, what could be, you're probably kind of, I don't know, what would you call that? Just feeling like at a dead end and not excited about life. So curiosity helps you stay open-minded, and it creates space for growth, new challenges, and more opportunity. So where in your life would you like to create more possibility for growth? Is it in your relationships? Is it at work or in your career? Where would you like to create more possibility for growth? I love that question. It's one I think about often, and I get excited about it. And I always think there's always more opportunity, right? Okay, so what's the definition of curiosity? Curiosity is a strong desire to know something. And for our purposes in this training and personal growth and development, curiosity is the desire to know one's self. Yeah. When you get to know yourself by asking yourself what interests you, you start to just create a whole new life. So where can you add that in? Like, what matters to me? When you dial into that, you start to really fill yourself up, and maybe I said that wrong, boost yourself up, feel into what is right for you and what is going to make you happy. When you start with curiosity, there are simply no limits. your mind, your ego is not in the way telling you that, you're not good enough for that, or you're not smart enough for that. You're simply just curious. So give yourself room to question what's happening in your life. Give yourself room to question what interests you. I mean, heck, I started out as a corporate executive after college. And then I was a yoga teacher and then a yoga studio owner. These, I never imagined those things would collide, or even one would lead to the other. And then the yoga retreat leader, it's all going great. It's super fun. So be curious and be open. So we are going to get to the tools of clarity and curiosity. So I just want you to take a moment and feel into what is opening up for you. Is there a space for you right now where maybe you've been closed or haven't even been curious, didn't even think you should, or know that that was an option for you? So where in your life can you add in more curiosity? Okay, so as I said yesterday and recapped it today, meditation helps me anchor into the present moment. It gives me a clear space from which to live my life and lead. So we are going to take this time now to go to the curiosity meditation. So I'm going to share my screen. I have, this is a recorded meditation, one of my favorites. And let's see, I'll get it going. Okay. Cue the meditation. It is right here. And here we go. Hello and welcome. Please come to a simple seated position. Get comfortable. Maybe sit on a pillow or a yoga block to position your hips just slightly above your knees. Release your hands to the tops of your legs and flip your palms to face the ceiling. Leave the palms open wide, with the fingertips relaxed toward the sky in a receiving position. Sit up nice and tall. Squeeze your shoulders around your spine. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a deep breath out. Constrict the back of your throat as you inhale. Constrict the back of your throat as you exhale so you hear the breath. Breathe in, squeeze your shoulders around your spine. Breathe out, relax and soften your jaw. And then take steady inhales and exhales, long breaths in and long breaths out. Breathe. And now whatever's bubbling up for you here, let it be. What you resist persists. So if there is an emotion, something that you're trying to avoid, just let it be. Welcome it, tell the emotion it can stay as long as it wants to. And you may notice that the energy, the stuckness, dissipates. Continue to breathe and clear your mind. With each inhale, just imagine the breath coming in through the nose and filtering through the brain, and just allowing you to have a blank slate. That is the cleansing inhale. And then the exhale, you just expel all the breath, any emotions, so that you can truly be in this present moment. And how does it feel to have a blank slate? To just be right here with your awareness on your awareness. Tuck the chin back toward your throat. Pull the low belly gently towards your spine. Relax and soften your eyes. Now set your attention on your highest self. The best version of you. The calm, knowing version of you. And with this version of who you are, begin to expand your mind beyond what's in front of you right here. Take your mind into a place of limitless possibilities. What would you like your life to be about on a daily basis? So right here is a perfect place to just think about what you want your life to be about. And there's no judging. There are no limits. This is you in your highest power. What does your life look like? Who do you want to be? There are no limits. You get to choose. So clear anything that's in the way blocking you, any old stories, any old habits and patterns. You can get past those. And just imagine you in your highest potential, operating as you choose and as you desire every day. What do you see? What is your view? What are you looking at? Where are you? And look around you. Who is by your side? What is your life about? No limits. Now just sit and breathe in your true potential. Bask in the glory of your unlimited potential. And in that potential, can you also find ease? An awareness that it is possible for you, that you don't have to fight for it, that you can be who you want to be in a pleasurable way. It doesn't have to be stressful or straining. In this highest potential, what interests you? And from where you are today to where you want to be, what is in the gap? What needs to be different in your daily habits, your daily thoughts? What needs to change for you to be from where you are right now to where you want to be in your highest, greatest potential? There's no judging. This is simply you taking charge of your life without judgment. Judgment is useless. You're simply showing up as the leader and the guide of your own life. Trust that you can be that person for you. So take a look around. See yourself in your highest, greatest good. Perhaps it brings a smile to your face. And just soak it in. Feel who you are. Feel it. Feel it in your body. And keep this feeling with you. The feeling of knowing, the emotion of feeling complete and joyful as your highest self. Draw that in so that you can access it at any time. With your palms facing up toward the sky, draw your awareness to the palms of your hands. Feel the energy of your highest self right there in the palms of your hands. And now bring your palms together at heart center, Anjali Mudra, prayer hands at heart center. Bow your head. Release your hands to your sides, palms forward, and on an inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Look and reach up. Open your eyes, smile bright, and bring your hands to your third eye, the center of your forehead. And allow that feeling, the energy, to move into your forehead. And now move your thumbs to the center of your chest and feel the energy of your highest self in full completion. Pull that into your heart center. Together we bow. Namaste. Welcome back. I love these meditations. I meditated right along with you all. Such a wonderful way to get present to what we're up to. So through the meditation, you went through this journey of getting clear. And I talked about the gap between where you want to be and where you are today. So you're in a spot, you want to get to another spot, you try to do it, and something is blocking you. So what is in the gap? And I want you to think about what that might be. Is something missing, like regular yoga and meditation practice, connection to the connection to source, connection to yourself, your beliefs? Are you missing boundaries? Healthy eating, things like that. What is missing? Lack of boundaries, I talk about this all the time, will lead us to be unclear, and we will be confused, right? So the opposite of certainty is confusion. So lack of boundaries are something that will definitely lead to not knowing what we want to do with our life, not knowing, and also not acting in a way that leads us to where we want to go. So what is missing? What's in the gap from between where you are today and where you want to be? And if nothing is missing, which, okay, if that's you, bravo. But maybe it's more of something needs to go, like too many Netflix binges. And you know when it's fine, and when it has become a problem and it's just really draining you. So maybe something needs to go, like over drinking, vaping, smoking, something that is really holding you back, and even working too much, right? So we want to talk about, why would those things need to go? You're like, hey, I smoke, it's fine, I still get everything done. And I'm using this as an example. Well, or drinking and whatever. So yeah, some people can have a couple drinks and it's great. It enhances their life and it doesn't hurt you. But what I'm talking about is when you then feel bad about yourself and it crushes your confidence, and you feel like you've let yourself down with some of these habits that are not good for you. And when that happens, you typically will just, now you're going to make decisions based on who you think you are, right? Who, the not good enough part, the I'm, horrible for doing this, that kind of thing. So that's why when we can clean up those things that drain our energy, then we're going to be more on track to our life goals and what we really want our life to be about. Okay, so that was the first tool that I used to get clarity, and that is, and it was even a curiosity meditation in there. So meditation for clarity. And then also I have journal questions, as I mentioned. So the first question that I gave to you is, what is in the gap between where you are today and where you want to be? Okay. And right now, you don't have to write all this down. I will put it into the replay link, and the Pure Energy Club will have that as well. So I'll recap that for you. Next question. From yesterday, we talked about the images of perfection that we bought into, or that were placed upon us as a child. Now, in keeping an open mind, not assuming that every projection has harmed you in, irreparable ways, because that's not what this is about. Yes, of course, some images of perfection can be harming, but this is about just being open-minded. Okay, so are you aware of how your childhood images of perfection have shaped who you are today? Are you even aware that images of what it means to be a boy or a girl, about what it meant to be good, I have air quotes up in case you're just listening to this, what it means to be a good girl, a good boy. Are you aware of how those images have shaped who you are today? And I will share a little story with you. I know that some of those images have been harmful to me because I would feel, I'm pretty petite, I'm 5 feet tall, and I was small. And so I had these images of you're too little to be good at this or sports or whatever. So that was harmful. I had some other images that were tough to live up to. Um, like you need to be smart, or I actually had this one where my family would say, she's so good, you never even know she's around. And I'm telling you, that was pretty harmful. That was like, it took me years to discover that, wow, I was being quiet and I was afraid to actually speak up and afraid to share my opinion on certain things, because that would mean that I was being a troublemaker just by talking, right? They would say, you don't even know she's here. We never even know she's here. And I learned that that was just being quiet was, a way to be good or be accepted, be a good little girl. So anyway, awareness, that's why I'm asking, are you aware? So think about it. Are you aware of how these images of perfection have shaped you? And once you become aware, then you get to do the work on it if it's something you need to fix. Now, I would say that some of those work hard images of perfection, they helped me in some ways. And there's a whole lot of people that would just totally freak out hearing someone say that. But, think about this. We want our pilots to be pretty damn perfect, don't we? We want our doctors who are prescribing medicine to be perfect. We want the people who create medicine to be perfect. There is a level of activation that comes from wanting to do your very best. And if we can kind of drop some of the bad rap that working diligently, right? Working hard, I can barely even say it anymore. But if we can drop some of the bad rap around, oh, you're exhausted, or you're working when you're tired, or you're trying to get it too right. But what if we're not working to exhaustion? What if we're just activated and excited to do the work, right? Of course, there's a time to stop and put things away, but don't beat yourself up over trying to do a damn good job. Just don't. Like there's part of that has melded, that image has come into your life, and it has helped you to continue to aspire to be awesome, to be better, to do the thing. Without that drive, I'm not sure where I would be. So just something to think about. And how can you start to replace some words like triggered with activated? Can you add that into your life? Like, oh my gosh, she triggered me. Well, okay, did she trigger you, or did she activate something in you that is actually going to really serve you? I'm going to leave some space there for you to think about that. I think it's time, right? We worked so hard. I'm going to say a couple, maybe a decade or so ago, right? The 80s, that whole vibe, 80s and 90s vibe of work so hard. And then we've gone through a couple decades of, we got burned out from working too hard, and the whole world, I feel like, got a little burnt out. But it also has gotten a little soft, and that's not always a great thing. And we stopped aspiring, and we stopped pushing, and we started saying people are triggering me, so they can't say this or they can't say that. I'm triggered, I'm just going to collapse. Well, what if we can call that activated instead of triggered, and really look in? Because if we're triggered, we want to just stop it all, right? We want to stop it and just put it away. But there's no room for growth there. If we can understand that we're being activated, then there's room to identify what is it in me that's activated. And when you have that room to identify, you're actually becoming self-aware. You're understanding what thoughts or beliefs are hurting you that you're buying into, because if you didn't believe it, you wouldn't be hurt. And that way you can heal it, you can identify it, talk about it, and really, truly, from a place of equanimity and clarity, decide what's for you. and be activated around what you want and let go of what you don't. Because if you're triggered, but yet you've gone through the work and you realize you're really activated, you've gone through the work to identify who you are, other people's opinions are not going to bother you. They're just not going to bother you. You will spend far less time worrying about what they have to say than you will, and more time on developing yourself, because that's where the gold is. Like, you take the time to do that awareness work and suddenly you're like, oh, okay, I'm actually really good. So that is where your self-awareness turns to self-acceptance, turns to self-trust, turns to confidence, turns to knowing. And next thing you know, you're living this amazing life and enjoying your life, your relationships, all those good things. So back to these images, which thoughts or beliefs would you change? I mean, from my opinion, for, my own experience, I would definitely change that you're too small to be good at sports. Because I think that it was not just you're too small to be good at sports, it became it became like not something where I didn't trust my body, or how I was made and how I looked to the world wasn't quite enough. Right. So I would change that for sure. I'm not sure if that ever served me. So how about you? What do you need to change? And on the flip side, what belief or thought that may have seemed negative, but you realize how it served you? Which one would you keep that challenged you, it activated you to be where you are today? And if you're here in this spot, taking time for personal growth and development, you're in a good spot. Okay, so I have one more exercise for you. And I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think about one of those thoughts or beliefs that was put onto you as a child. So remember that time. Your eyes are closed. Go to that space, that one thing that was pretty hurtful, kind of shaped who you are, but like the one you could really do without. Who is in the room? Now connect with your highest self. And hold your highest self's hand. Okay. So now in that space where you were once, it was kind of hurtful, uncomfortable, what would you today say to that younger version of you? And this is your highest self. You actually, in your mind, you get to look at yourself as a young person, and you get to give her or him a message that today the lesson, and you just want to tell that person all about it. So I'm going to give you a moment to speak directly to yourself and allow your highest self, who you are today, all of that, because there's so many levels of you. Allow this space to be a time where you wrap your arms around this younger version of you and support them. And perhaps you tell them all the things you've done and give them a little pep talk. So this is your message and your time. Okay. Now, give your younger self a big squeeze. Look into each other's eyes. And now come back to me. Okay, I love that exercise. I love to go back and support my younger self, and I consider it doing some healing in that space. That has been so helpful to me over the years. So we are about to wrap up this training. I'm going to leave you with a couple of questions and an assignment to tap into your inner power by getting clear and curious. I'm going to give you a meditation to possibility. It's about possibility, and I will drop that in the link, the replay link that's on YouTube. So just look in the instructions there. It's just another meditation on possibility. And I want you to do that as much as you want to. And here are the journal questions. They're very short, and the exercise goes right along with it. So question number 1, what are you curious about? And just write that down, and then you can do the exercise later. Question number 2, what interests you? What interests you? What are you curious about? What interests you? Your assignment then is to answer the journal questions and take a blank sheet of paper, and I want you to just at the top put curious. And this is where you're going to, if it just depends on how much time and you want to put into this, but you can write what you're curious about. You can attach photos, tear out magazine things and just put it on the page. This is 100% for you, and a space to just say, what am I curious about? Remember, the sky's the limit. You're not committed to anything on this page. So, but you're sparking something in you. What do you want to know about? And this is going to unearth something that every time I've done this, it has been, oh, wow, just wild, and beautiful and fun, and has led to all the different things that I've done in my life. Probably not all the different things I've done, but many new things that I've done. All right, my friends. So I will post the replay link. It's just in a couple of hours. It just takes me some time to edit it and then put all the questions in. So I'll have that up. And I want you to connect in the group for the Pure Energy group people. Just connect and let me know what's coming up for you. If you want to share your curiosity assignment in the group, please do. And I just want to thank you so much for spending your time and energy with me. It's one of our greatest resources. So I appreciate you being here. I want to invite you into a couple of things. So if you're not already in the Pure Energy Club group, please join us. It is a wonderful space. You'll have access to yoga and meditation classes, as well as group support from both the group and from me. If you're already in Pure Energy Club, awesome. You always have an opportunity, and everyone has an opportunity to also work with me one-on-one if that is something that you feel called to do. If things are bubbling up for you and it feels like a good fit that you want to just hammer some things out and really talk with me and get support, I'd be happy to do that with you. So thank you for being here. Be curious, get clear. That is going to light up your inner power, or I guess I should say amplify your inner power, right? Okay, thank you so much. I very much appreciate you being here, and